So, you think your neighborhood's bad? Try living on the edge of an erupting volcano, or in a town where the air itself can kill you. Today on Top 8, we're diving into the most dangerous places people actually call home. Not survival shows, not explorers. We're talking regular people building homes, raising families, and casually dealing with death traps in their backyard. Let's get into it. At number 8, Lainkanada, Peru, a gold mining town 16,700 feet above sea level. Lainkanada isn't just the highest city on Earth, it's basically Mars with people. Perched atop the Peruvian Andes, this town sits at an altitude where oxygen is scarce and temperatures rarely go above freezing. And yet, over 50,000 people live here. Why? Gold. The town exists almost entirely around unregulated high-risk gold mining. Most miners work under a you-get-what-you-find system. No salary, no safety net, just extreme risk and the faint hope of hitting the jackpot. Plus, there's no plumbing. The glacier water is often contaminated with mercury, and altitude sickness is just part of life. It's raw, it's real, and somehow, it's home. At number 7, Miyakima Japan, an island where everyone wears gas masks because of a volcano. This island south of Tokyo looks like a tropical paradise, until you notice everyone's carrying gas masks. That's because Mount Oyama, the island's volcano, doesn't just erupt, it leaks poisonous sulfur gas, constantly. In 2000 it blew its top so violently the entire island had to be evacuated for 5 years. Even after residents were allowed back, the air was still toxic. Today gas masks are required when sulfur levels spike. Sirens blare warnings, and everyone knows where the clean air shelters are. Despite all this, over 2,000 people live there. They say it's worth it for the beauty, the community, and the thrill of being really alive. But yeah, imagine checking the air quality before making coffee. At number 6, Dal Ethiopia, where it's hot enough to fry your brain, and anything else. Located in the Danakil Depression, Dal holds the record for the highest average temperature ever recorded for an inhabited place, 94 degrees Fahrenheit or 34.4 Celsius year-round. That's not a heat wave, that's the baseline. But it's not just the heat. The area is home to sulfur springs, acid pools, and exploding geysers. The ground literally steams. Breathing the air feels like inhaling battery acid. And yet nomadic Afar tribes live nearby and even venture into the region to mine salt, by hand. There are no real roads, no hospitals, and nothing to stop nature if it turns violent. It's like living inside Earth's fever dream. At number 5, Nurilk, Russia. This is a Siberian city where honestly the air is toxic and the sun just disappears for about 6 weeks. Nurilk is actually one of the largest cities north of the Arctic Circle. And wow, it's also one of the most polluted places on the planet. It's a nickel mining hub, which, okay, might sound kinda dull until you realize the byproducts include sulfur dioxide, heavy metals, and acid rain that can kill off forests 30 miles away. In winter, temperatures drop to minus 30 degrees Celsius. That's minus 22 Fahrenheit, by the way. And oh yeah, there's absolutely no sunlight from late November to mid-January. Just endless night and chemical fog. Still, over 175,000 people live here. Why? Money. Jobs in Nurilk pay well, if you can handle the cold, the darkness, and, the existential dread. At number 4, Izu Islands in Japan. This is a volcanic island chain where people actually have evacuation drills. And yeah, they carry gas masks too. This isn't just a repeat of Miyakima, though it's nearby. The Izu Islands sit right on top of a volcanic chain, and eruptions are just a regular part of life here. Earthquakes? Also pretty common. One island, Nijima, was literally formed from an eruption back in the 1980s. Residents across the islands are constantly on alert. Volcanic activity can force evacuations with little warning. Emergency drills are baked into the culture, and just like Miyakima, gas masks are part of the gear. Yet the beaches are stunning, the fishing is rich, and honestly, many families have lived there for generations. It's paradise, with a panic button. At number 3, Monrovia, Liberia. A coastal capital city battling rising tides and sewage in the streets. Monrovia sits on the Atlantic coast and is constantly pummeled by tropical storms and rising sea levels. Poor drainage means floodwaters often mix with sewage, spreading disease. The infrastructure, weakened by years of civil war, just can't keep up. For many residents, basic needs like clean water or consistent power are luxuries, and with the ocean swallowing more shoreline each year, entire neighborhoods are washing away. Still, Monrovia is vibrant. It's got culture, music, markets, and resilience in spades. But life here is a daily gamble against nature and neglect. At number 2, Lake Neos, Cameroon, a village that sits near a killer lake. Sounds peaceful, right? Lake Neos is actually one of the deadliest natural hazards you've never heard of. In 1986, the lake suddenly released a cloud of CO2, colorless, odorless, and deadly. Over 1,700 people died in minutes. It was a limnic eruption, a rare phenomenon where volcanic gases build up under a lake and then violently escape. Today, people still live near the lake. Scientists have installed degassing systems to prevent another explosion, but no one can say for sure it's safe. Living here means trusting in tech, and in luck. At number 1, El Camidito, Argentina, a cliffside village in Patagonia, perched on rocks that constantly shift. In the Andes Mountains, you'll find remote communities like El Camidito built on steep, unstable terrain. The roads are narrow, landslides are common, and isolation is guaranteed. Supplies have to be brought in via pack animals or small trucks that risk sliding off cliffs. Add in harsh winters and unpredictable earthquakes, and you've got one of the most dangerous postal codes on Earth. Yet families here raise children, tend livestock, and celebrate holidays like anywhere else. To them, the danger is just background noise, the price of peace and a mountain view you can't buy anywhere else. Still think your city's bad? These places may look like nightmare fuel to outsiders, but to locals, they're home, filled with beauty, community, and resilience. Danger? Yeah, but for many, it's worth the risk. Want more wild and unexpected listicles? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is Top 8, where the world gets a whole lot wilder.